This is Joyce
and Blake,
and welcome to Savagely Scaled. In this episode, I know we kind of touched base a little bit on recovery, and we spoke with Andrew about like how we each kind of jump into our own recovery. We spoke a little bit about the different ways we recover, hydration, nutrition. We even talked about why we recover, right? Because it helps reduce injuries, soreness, promotes muscle growth and strength, all of overall just great athletic performance, right? But we want to focus on this episode particularly on one aspect of recovery, and that is sleep. So let's jump into it.
In
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So let me ask you, Blake, how many hours of sleep do you get in a day?
Oh my gosh, I already feel tired. I was about to yawn as you were like, sleep.
Speaking of sleep, we are sleep deprived.
It depends. I'm very sleep deprived. I always like to tell, so my Amanda, my nutrition coach is always about sleep.
You're Amanda.
And I always tell her, that I'm going to try, or I hit this, or things like that. Simmons is very on top of, you need to get this. And I'm always like,
he's really good on his sleeping schedule.
Oh yeah, I would be too if I didn't have children who might have nightmares or need something of me in the middle of the night.
Fair.
Or dogs.
So that happens every night?
Dogs. It just depends. So that's why when Joyce was like, hey, do you want to go to Jurassic Park? And I was like, I'm going to have my kids. And she's like, but it's not that bad.
I didn't look it up.
One of the dinosaurs looks like straight up like an alien.
It did. It was ugly.
And I was like, nightmares. It's going to be nightmares for like a month with.
Really?
Yeah. Especially my little sensitive bud.
Oh, yeah. That's not going to work.
And I remember when I was younger, I watched the movie The Mummy. And whenever like
I love that one.
I love The Mummy.
Such a good movie.
But when he would suck the
soul, I guess, or everything. Yeah.
Everything. I had nightmares of that.
Really?
For like a month. And my son is very similar to that. Harper sometimes is. She's my little stronger one. But yeah, bringing a 6-year-old to a PG-13. Y'all, if you're parents and you are like, well, I bring my 6-year-old or 5-year-old to a PG-13, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Unless it's maybe animated and I get a good feeling from it. But like things that look, because they're children.
True.
And mine do believe in Santa, which is imaginary. Okay.
What?
They might depict like, oh my gosh, if these dinosaurs ever come back, or there's
which is possible.
There's monsters out there that
Aliens.
Can kill us, or just seeing somebody with tons of blood. You know,
true. Yeah, I felt bad about asking after she told me it was, what was it, PG-13?
Yeah. There's tons of people who let their kids watch PG-13 or ours. Like, my mom teaches pre-K, and she's like, do you know how many kids were singing the NSYNC song? And I thought that their parents were just being nostalgic, listening to NSYNC. Half of them were like, no, I watched Deadpool, which is a rated R movie. Pre-K, y'all. She teaches 3 to 4-year-olds.
Oh, man.
And their parents, I
apologize for my mother.
I'm not shaming anybody, but there's a reason why they have age limits, just like for drinking.
Yep.
But that's just my tidbit. Not that I have perfect children or I'm a perfect mom. I just have certain rules that I grew up on that I feel are good.
I like that.
But I also let them watch the Demon Hunters on Netflix.
Right.
That's animated. That has amazing music. And neither one of them had nightmares about it because they were like, those girls are killing bad people. So there you go. See, my justice is not ever good.
Like, I come back around, man. I come back around.
But there's some days, like, if you're talking,
like, what does your average, I guess, week look like in terms of sleep?
Without waking up? Like a deep sleep?
Let's talk about, I guess, weekdays, like on an average weekday, and then when you actually get to sleep in. Like,
okay, let's see.
I guess like your average now, and then what you would like to see Blake sleep at.
So
I gotta wake up early for sure because you'd be messaging me in the
my
morning.
kids like get me up at 6:15, and if Blake works all day, like a normal week of just me working, I don't get to relax in my bed until like 8 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I'm watching a show. So then my brain stays awake until like 10 or 11.
Gotcha.
And then I'm up at 6. But there are days that I go to bed at 9.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're talking about my kids getting me up, I don't get deep sleep. So if you calculate it, it looks like I sleep for like a good 8 to 10 hours, and I don't.
It sounds like
up,
7.
Yeah, I wake up exhausted more times than not.
Man, yeah, that means you need to sleep more, woman.
I know, and this is what happens. And let me know for people who have kids, they know. They know when you're like, I got everything done and I'm going to bed at 8:39.
How nice.
This is amazing. I will probably get woken up 3 times.
Really? Throughout the night?
Mm-hmm. And it's been Harper a little bit more than Weston. Weston sometimes will sleepwalk. I used to sleepwalk. And then when he wakes up, it startles him. But then he's like, oh, I just want to give you a hug. And then he'll walk back to sleep. I used to do that to my mom all the time.
Oh.
Harper doesn't sleepwalk. Like, she will wake up and be like, I had a nightmare. And then I have to walk her back to bed.
I'd be terrified.
Yeah.
For the sleepwalking one. I'd be like, ah.
Yeah. I just get used to it. Like, if I hear something different, I wake up. But there are times when I've scared him when I've been like, and he's like, ah! And then he starts crying. And I was like, oh, buddy, I'm so sorry.
That would be me every time.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And my mom always woke up like that. I'm like, why do you wake up like that? And she's like, because you're just like right there. Like,
that is so funny.
Yeah. So when Chris is gone, a lot of times they want to sleep with me. And so they know, like, if they come in my room, like 2 to 3 times, I will give in because I am tired and I want to go to bed.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. So on paper, it looks like I get sleep. Throughout the night, I don't. Even on the days that they don't get me, I still feel like I'm tossing and turning and I'm not shutting my mind off. And I know that there's supplements for that, but you guys, there's times that I have to get up early or I have to be alert enough to help a child out, or like my mom always said, for an emergency. So if you find something that, like, if people are like, oh, I don't know because I don't get waken up in the middle of the night because I don't want to be drowsy and go back to bed and my kid needs me. Right. So if you do have a supplement that doesn't make me drowsy, it just helps me to knock out that first a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Because I'm also a mom who thinks of, what does the rest of my week look like? What do I have to do tomorrow? Is everything ready? Is my prep ready? Is this ready? Because, like,
so your mind is running all the time.
So, like, Saturday, I prep on Sunday. Did I get everything from the grocery store? Do the kids have enough snack for the rest of the week? Sunday, when school starts, are we going to get up for Monday? Does everybody have their clothes? Do we have our lesson plans for Weston?
Oh, man.
Does Harper have her clothes out because it makes life easier? Did we get breakfast?
I can barely do that for myself.
Yeah. So then I'm like, okay, well, how much sleep can I get? If I didn't get everything done, then I need to wake up earlier. If I got it woken, it's
so stressful.
Yeah. So I'm always thinking, and it's very hard to shut my brain off. So that's also why I watch shows, to shut my brain off. But then I hyperfixate if it's a show. Right. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's 2 more episodes left, even though they're an hour long.
Right.
So, yeah. From all that spiel and tangent, Blake is not getting sleep.
Yeah, not enough.
No.
So how much would you say you're like, oh, if I sleep this much, I feel amazing. Like, I'm like feeling fantastic. Have you figured that number out?
Yeah. So I feel like between 8 and 10. Because if I only get like 5 hours, sometimes, I don't know, maybe change it to 7 to 10.
Okay.
Good sleep, uninterrupted. I fell asleep.
Yeah, like straight up, just you can do it on your
7 to 10. Anything under 7 and anything over 10. Over 10, I feel
too groggy.
Yeah,
me too.
Very groggy and not okay. Under, I just feel like I didn't get anything, and it's not groggy. Now I'm like irritated. I just want to go to sleep and I can't because now I have stuff to do. There's times when I've gotten like 3 hours of sleep. That's not fun at all. Yeah. And then it's just,
oh my goodness.
yeah, it's not. So I feel like depending on it, like 7 to 10. Like 10, I'm on vacation. 7, I was at home and I got really good sleep.
You got lucky.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny. I'd say on average, I do pretty good. I at least get 7. But to me, like to feel good, I need 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And then like you said, anything higher than that, I just feel kind of more groggy than helpful. Like it's a little too much.
Yeah.
But no, I love my sleep. Like I need to sleep. I love it. But I'm really intrigued. I would love to ask Andrew this question to see if it varies with men, because I have spoken to some men and they're like, oh, 7 hours seems nice. And I'm just like, that's less than we need, or that I feel like I need as a lady. So I'm really curious how that would work. But regardless, let's jump into it.
He's the one who sleeps like 4 hours or 3 hours.
I know. How is that possible?
There's sometimes when I'm like, bro, how are you alive?
And he coaches, and then it's like,
I
don't.
Or I look at Maggie
understand.
and I'm like, how does he exist in this world?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a guy thing. I don't know.
I don't either, because I also like naps.
Oh, I can't do naps.
I love naps.
I cannot.
And like, if you give me a good nap.
What's a good nap? Like 30 minutes to an hour?
Like an hour.
An hour?
Yeah. 45 minutes to an hour. I can't do a 31 because then my brain just thinks that it's not enough and then I'm still awake. So if I do 45 minutes, there's times when I've done a 2-hour nap and that's really good
very
too.
Nice.
And I don't wake up groggy or anything like that. A 30-minute nap, and now we're leading into like a 3 or 4 hour nap, which is not a nap.
Not even. Yeah.
That's too much. So like
I agree.
An hour at most, 2 hours. I really enjoy.
But yeah, I just kind of wanted to see where we were at, I guess, as the host of this show and see where our sleep stands in comparison to where it should be.
Not good for me over
not
here.
Not great, Blake. Not great at all. But this is why we're learning about it. And this is why we're going to, discover some tips and things we can do.
Mm-hmm.
But initially, like me being a very sciencey person in the back, and you know me, I love my science.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to get a bigger idea of what sleep does, the different stages of sleep, how much deep we should be getting based on our age, all of that. So first and foremost, like when we think of sleep, it is essentially part of our daily routine. We do it every single day. It is a chance for our body to recover from, consider it like the daily wear and tear that we experience.
Yeah.
And sleep is the opportunity for your body to regenerate a lot of certain processes, certain systems that are going inside your body that we don't really pay attention to, but are just naturally happening. So to understand that a little bit more, like let's speak a little bit about the human sleep cycle and what different cycles exist. I know you mentioned deep sleep, and you've mentioned kind of like what we
because we have like REM,
right,
and the different stages of sleep, and you need to be in deep sleep for this long, and this other one is this. Like I remember going into like nursing school, and we had some prereqs about sleeping and health. So I only remember a tiny bit.
You're pretty on point. You're pretty on it. So to start, kind of like we mentioned, the stage 1 of sleep is kind of the light sleep. So it's like the shortest stage, I would say. It's accounts for like 5% of your total sleep. But this is usually the period right after you fall asleep. So like you've mentioned, it's usually when you're most sensitive, when you can hear things in the back, things that can wake you up. And then we move on to stage 2, which is deeper sleep. So this accounts for about the biggest chunk of our sleep, which is about 45% of all the time you spend sleeping. And this stage increases the older you get. But research indicates that this stage is key when it comes to memory storage for the day and also learning. So
yeah, no wonder I'm spiraling every day.
This is why when you get older, you need more, in order to get that going.
I just thought I was going through dementia spells because I was like, and it doesn't run in my family.
Girl. And it even has to do with Alzheimer's, which we'll get into later. Okay. But yeah, like when I started reading this, I was like, oh man, these are the little things that I don't really pay attention, because I'd probably consider myself mostly in the like light sleep region and like the deeper sleep most of the time, because I'm a very light sleeper. So it was interesting to see like, in stage 2 is where a lot of the stuff kicks in. And for older folks who struggle with memory issues, like it makes sense. And then we move on to the third stage, which is the deepest sleep. And this is about 25% of the time you spend sleeping. This number actually goes down with age. So There's evidence that this stage is like the most important to how your body recovers and maintains itself, mainly because the brain prioritizes the stage in people with sleep deprivation. So it's very hard to wake someone up from this stage. They usually feel very foggy or confused for up to like 30 minutes after waking up. So I know you mentioned Weston kind of has that. So it's probably while he's in his deepest sleep, which makes sense. And then you mentioned REM sleep. So that stands for rapid eye movement. And this last stage is usually when we dream. So when we start having those nightmares or when we start having those images, when a person is in REM sleep, you usually start to see their eyes kind of moving under their eyelids. So that's usually what's happening at that time. And throughout the night, as we're sleeping, once you complete that REM cycle, that's considered your overall one round, as we would consider in an AMRAP. So that's considered like a full round of sleep. And then once you finish that REM, you kind of start back on stage one and kind of go through the stages all over again. So throughout the night, you're going throughout the stages over and over. And on average, I think you perform like 4 or 5 cycles per night, assuming that you get your full 8 hours.
Yeah.
So interesting stuff there. Like I didn't know I thought it was just a full one time and we were done, but it's constantly doing that throughout the night, which is really fascinating.
It is, because I'm like, I do dream. I can probably remember my dreams 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
But I always thought like that just always kept me up because I was always remembering what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or if it was a really good dream, I like slept longer maybe. I don't know. I'm also very weird because as soon as you're like, it helps our body. Now, I heard this a long time ago and it's always stuck with me. So like our mouth is very fast healing and our eyes are healing because of the moisture or something like that. Don't quote me. And so whenever I had like a cut in my mouth or my eye, like a cut in my eye, there was one night a gnat flew in my eye and completely destroyed my eye. Yeah, it got so big. And I just remember one of my teachers saying, well, they're like one of the fastest things to heal so just go to sleep and it will take that time and it will heal when you wake up. And so I always tell people that. And I think of that way if I hurt something in my mouth or in my eye.
That is funny.
Yeah, because it is like.
It must have been painful too, though, on your eye.
Oh, yeah. So many times my eyes, like things have flown into them.
Oh, my gosh.
I've had my kids have scratched things like when they were babies, just like when they grab like little baby hand, just go really fast.
And their little nails.
And so I was always be like, okay, I just have to go to sleep and it will be healed. When you have a baby and it happens in the morning, that's not.
You could rock that Kill Bill like eye patch.
Yeah. But like
the nurse.
I always thought of that because I remember us talking about protein and how that heals muscles and also carbohydrates and a good amount of healthy fat. But I know that like sleep really does help for your muscles to heal and your body to heal. It's like one of the best things that you can do that's not like a form of outside drugs or something like that.
Yeah, if we don't sleep, we could die.
Yeah.
Like, we could straight up die, which is crazy.
Yeah. So it's fun to remember some things. I totally forgot that you go through several stages.
Oh yeah.
I just remember the one, like the light, the deep, and then the
REM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I must have blacked out from that.
Right? Oh, sleep. Gotta love it.
Yeah. This is so boring.
Yeah. I remember I had to take a class for that too, actually, for my undergrad. And it was just, I was like, how are they going to create a course all about sleep for the whole semester? And they did it already.
See, ours is just like, I think
like one seminar.
Week.
Oh no, girl. Yeah. It was a whole term.
I mean, 4 months. Was like oh no. Yeah. I couldn't do that.
Girl,
it
but
was like cool. A chapter.
It was experimental and everything. So we got to test stuff.
Oh, no wonder I didn't like it as much. Ours is just a chapter and it was basically like reading 60 something pages and being tested on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not fun.
No.
Anyways, how much sleep should we be getting though is the question, right? I think it
because everybody says 8 hours. Is that still a fact?
I mean, for adults, 18 years and up, they're saying 7 to 9 hours. And of course, if you're younger, it should be more.
Yeah.
I know for newborns, and it makes sense, right? I mean, when you're up to 3 months old, I think they're saying 14 to 17 hours, which is what we see with babies. It makes sense.
It's not nightly.
Right.
Because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, that's my babies or my 3-month-olds could just go to sleep like 14 to 17 hours. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's all their naps
included
in because there's a high percentage of kids that don't sleep through the night when they're that young.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And then infants from 4 to 12 months, they're saying 12 to 16 hours, including nap time. So you're right. It probably does include that.
Those are all nap times.
Yeah.
Naps. I was like, there are so many kids who do not sleep through the night.
That is true.
And I had one who napped all the time and hated sleeping at night.
Wow.
Hated it unless he was on me.
Oh, that's hard.
But would nap by himself. And the other one who barely napped and would sleep through the night.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's me.
And I was like, what happened to my nap person? Because Wesson would take like when he was very like to the T with things. And if they're like, okay, ages, newborn to 4 months, they take 3 naps a day. He would take 3 naps a day. If they're like, okay, 4 months to a year, they go down to 3. It was just like if he was turning 3 months, he had 3-month-old clothes. If he was turning 3, he fit into 3T right then and there.
Wow.
My other one, she's just the difficult one.
Well, they can't all be the same, right?
But yeah, they would say that like they need more sleep. They need to
they're
grow and they need that. I just know when the most my son slept at night was when he was growing teeth.
Interesting.
If he slept for like 10 hours or more, I need to check his mouth because that's how he teethed.
Interesting.
And a lot of kids don't teeth that way, right? It's like screaming and painful. Harper, screaming and painful and barely slept.
Huh.
Whenever he's ever, I have known that he's going to be sick, he falls asleep.
Huh.
He will take his naps because that kid don't nap anymore.
Yeah.
He will take several naps and he will sleep longer at night if he's getting sick. So like I can see how for me sleep as a mom signals something for my kids.
Right.
Or for my son.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
So what about when you get older? Because you were saying that like those levels change when you get older.
Yeah. So I think just to kind of narrow it down, I think we spoke about young children 1 to 5. I'll just go through these quickly.
Oh, you're good. Sorry.
1 to 5. No, you're good. 1 to 5, I think 10 to 14 hours. School children 6 to 12, 9 to 12. So it starts going down and down and down. Teenagers 8 to 10.
Which is surprising because they say like
they sleep a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, 10 is pretty up there.
That's true. That's true.
I remember sleeping a lot as a teenager.
That's true, but also staying
sleeping
up
in
late.
Yep. That's why. That's why. Not drinking though.
No.
Never that. And then, of course, adults 18 and up is 7 to 9. But I mean, kind of like you mentioned, because we sleep, it kind of helps us a lot with like muscle repair, recovering damaged tissues. Mm-hmm. But a lot of that has to do with hormones as well. And I feel like hormones, are big. They're the major chemicals when it comes to like coordinating a lot of like the body's functions, carrying messages to your organs, the blood, muscles, all of that. And of course, as you get older, the release of hormones aren't as high. But it makes sense because like you said, as you get older, the release of hormones is not as good as it was when you were younger, of course. And mainly hormones are a big part of sleep. Mainly the growth hormone is one that's like big and huge when it comes to sleep. So that is released by our anterior pituitary gland. And as a neuroscientist, of course, I'm going to tell you what that is because I love the human brain. But it is pretty much like, imagine like a small pea-sized gland that if you cut your brain like hot dog style right through the center, it's like in the front end of your brain. And it's literally like these 2 little small pea-sized glands. And they're really adorable. But they release this growth hormone that's pretty much the biggest thing in regulating your metabolism. So when it comes to converting your food into energy, maintaining glucose levels at a healthy range, breaking down fats, building protein, building bone density, skeletal growth, lean mass, growth hormone is your hormone. So usually in sleep, that's when we release bursts of this growth hormone. And of course, if you don't engage in a lot of sleep, then you're not really releasing a lot of that growth hormone. So that's going to impact your muscle growth. It's going to impact your breakdown of fat. Is that how people become short? Yes, exactly.
Shut up.
Yeah. See, now you're putting it together, Blake. Yes. It's getting there.
I'm like, everything
it's
up
working.
Against me.
I was like, no, you were on it. You were on it. That's exactly what it is. So there's a lot of like instances where children who have depraved sleep at a young age, because they're depraved of sleep, they end up being, they're less physical strength. They end up, like you said, having like poor memory, a shorter stature because they don't get to develop or grow because of the bone density issues. With adults, it's more of like you get swollen like limbs and things like that. But that's exactly what happens if you don't prioritize your sleep. That's why with kids, it's a very, very important thing to make sure that parents are on top of that, because especially when it comes to the growth period, like it's going to be very impactful there. And it also affects impaired hair growth, delayed puberty for most kids, slow growth. And then for adults, like I mentioned, mostly it's just like decreased muscle mass, increased body fat. You feel fatigue, low motivation, bone loss, all of those things. So it's pretty serious, guys. When I was looking into it, it's pretty serious.
This is crazy, because then if you go into like somebody who's obese and they've been kind of like that since they were, let's say somebody who was 10 years old, 150 pounds, really overweight, short in stature, and now we can't sleep at all and we have to be on a CPAP and things like that. Like sleep and nutrition
gets impacted.
And that's crazy that it adds so much to something that's already going down with the ship. Like that's kind of scary.
It's super scary. And some of like the top hormones that are involved in, I guess, when it comes to sleep and all of that, which I kind of wanted to touch base a little bit, was like testosterone was one of the main ones. And I know there's a lot of conversation about like, oh, it's a hormone primarily associated with men. And it's like, no, we women also have testosterone as well.
Oh yeah.
It's present in both of us, but of course it's definitely in higher doses in men than it is in women. But testosterone is a big part of one of the hormones that's responsible for bone growth, fat distribution, red blood cell production, all of that. When we associate it with men, it's definitely important for like sperm production and libido.
Yeah.
But for women, it's also very important for libido as well, but also ovarian function and cognitive function. So it's also known, like you've mentioned, as a form of stimulating protein synthesis when you're sleeping. And like the growth hormone, that means it just helps create new muscle proteins. It helps improve your immune system. In other words, bigger muscles is what I should say. But like you mentioned, once testosterone levels go a little bit on the down end, we start seeing things like obesity. Menopause can be something.
I was going to say, I've heard menopause. Yeah. A lot of women talk about like how their sleep has been cut or things like that. And I'm like, yay.
Fun things.
Yeah. Can I just go through a midlife crisis and not have all these things?
We're getting there, Blake.
I have to bear children. I have to go through menopause for you. I have to have a period every month.
Anyways, another one that affects is cortisol, which is my worst nemesis. I feel like I deal with cortisol all the time. But obviously cortisol is the stress hormone, which everybody knows about. And it is responsible it breaks down tissues in the body that aid in the production of energy. So it's pretty much doing the opposite of what growth hormones do, which is so scary as well, because I mean, anything can trigger cortisol, right? I mean, we're talking about stress and we deal with that every single day. So usually what happens is if you're able to lower your cortisol by, meditating, working on your exercise, trying to find ways to lower the stress, it will allow sleep and growth hormones to work more effectively and do their job in rebuilding the wear and tear from the exercise or whatever you're experiencing. So that's kind of the biggest thing when it comes with cortisol, is finding ways to reduce that so that your sleep time can it can benefit from all that time and do the best it can in that time, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But in a study that was found by the Journal of Strength and Conditioning, they found that athletes who slept more than 8 hours a night did show better a recovery rate than those who slept less than 6 hours. So they found that sleep deprivation led to a decrease in testosterone, an increase in cortisol, and overall reduced muscle mass. So when working in conjunction, we have a lot against us. And I feel like we take it very lightly from day to day.
Yeah.
Like we're just like, another hour less of sleep, whatever.
But I mean, like, how do I tell my kids, like, don't wake me up? I mean, there are parents out there that do that.
I can't do It's hard. But I mean, just think about like all the side effects, right? Like you brought those up already, like your mood changes. We have poor judgment, which I'm like, yeah, that happens.
Every day of my life.
Usually I like junk food or I'm like fast food. That's kind of my poor judgment usually when I'm feeling fatigued. Irritability, which you've mentioned
Every
before
day.
in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Drowsiness during the daytime.
Every day.
Low energy.
Every day.
Low sex drive.
No.
I don't have a problem with that. That one's always at 100%. Appetite change.
Sounds like I'm on my period.
I know, right? This is what we deal with every month, guys. So
yeah.
on top of sleep
On
deprivation.
top of sleep deprivation.
Girl, this is what I'm saying.
I don't like it.
It's women run the world. Less physical strength, which is definitely something I feel when I'm exhausted.
That
like I
is
can't
not
lift
me.
as heavy.
Yeah.
A weak immune system. Which,
Yeah.
Micro sleeps, which I've had in the past when I'm really sleep deprived, where you just find yourself sleeping in the middle of class or just in the middle of anywhere. And you're like, oh my God, wake up. Like worst feeling ever. That
not
happens.
me. I'm like,
Well, in class. No, I was just kidding. No, you do pretty good at that, actually. It leads to heart and circulatory systems being impacted. So
that's what I get scared of.
yeah, like long-term effects on your heart, your circulatory health, more likely to develop high blood pressure, hypertension, high cholesterol. When talking about metabolic things, a higher risk of type 2 diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
When talking about mental health and the brain, difficulty concentrating, absolutely. Poor memory. They got me with that one. It plays a role in Alzheimer's, which is another kind of concerning thing.
Which I was going to say, because there's such thing as sundowners, and that's a big thing with Alzheimer's or dementia, where they're lucid during the day, but then they're up and wandering at night and don't have their memory, right, is kind of jogged around, or they don't know where they're at if they're in a facility. Because I'm like, I don't think they really go to sleep.
Yeah, that's the scary stuff.
Yeah, because there are those things where people just don't go to sleep, or they like sleep an hour or two. And that's what I was going to say when you said like linked to those mental awarenesses or mental health issues as Alzheimer's. I'm like, I can see that, because like, when do they sleep? They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember my friend's grandpa, like I had to go. This is why my memory is not the best, because I remember facts from years ago. I was at her house and she's like, my grandpa's not in his house, and she had a house connected to hers. And she was so frantic. And I think it's just because I got excited that I got to drive the FJ, her parents' FJ that I've always wanted to drive.
That's cool.
And she's like, you have to drive the FJ. And I was like, yes. And there was so many blind spots in that as a teenager that was not good for me. But we found him wandering down, and she lived in a dirt area.
Oh.
Wandering down the road looking for, I think, his ex or something like that. Yeah, where she had to talk him back into the car.
Oh, man.
And we had to drive him home. Was completely fine during the day, but awake during the day. So when did you sleep, man? You didn't. You got up and decided, I don't know where I'm at. I'm wandering now.
That is terrifying.
It is, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Ugh.
Yeah, that's me every day. I
I'm
walk
scared to
through
get
life
older.
that way,
Dancing
wondering where I
around.
am. Yep. How
Oh,
did I
man.
get here? No.
I'm like, that is so scary. I'm going to have a little flag just stuck on your back so that way whenever you go, I can see, oh, there she is. Or a balloon. Yeah. That's so funny. I think I saw one at Disneyland where they had the little red like arrow pointing down, and it was like a see-through thing, so you just see it.
You're
and
gonna
I'm like,
have
that's
me
so
on a
cool.
leash. Like, no.
I mean, if I must, I will. In my golf cart.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Zip.
right? Let's go. Keep up. We're training for the Masters.
Where am I?
The CrossFit Games. Just kidding. I know that'd be. Imagine you just wake up. You're like, oh, I'm at the games. 3 more muscle ups. No, you're at home. Calm down.
So like, to go back to when I would sleepwalk, like
that is crazy that you. I didn't know that about.
See,
you.
let me go back in time again. I had been at a sleepover. I think it was 2 nights prior.
Wait, so this doesn't happen anymore?
No, I went to back to my house. So I had to sleep over 2 nights prior somewhere else. I'm at my house.
Okay.
I'm literally, and this could creep so many people out.
I know, I'm scared.
Literally was awake playing hide and seek like I was back at that house, and I was dreaming with all my friends. Like they were there and we were at that house, but I was literally in my house finding
that is super
places
creepy. I'd be like,
to hide.
Where's the ghost? Who are you talking to?
And so like my mom would find me there. Usually I wouldn't do that as much. And I don't know if it was because I didn't get a lot of sleep when I would go places. And then when I got home and had those sleeps, my body was still interacting with those dreams.
That makes sense.
There's tons of times when I would walk into our pantry and my mom would be like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom because we had a trash can. And she's like, you're in the pantry. And I'd be like, no, I'm not. And then all of a sudden, like, I could see the pantry around me, but I literally thought I was in the bathroom.
I'm like, did you pee?
No.
I hate those dreams where you think you're in the bathroom and you're not.
Oh my
you're
gosh,
like, here I go. And then you're like, wait, I'm not.
I've done that too. I've gone.
It's happened to me a few times.
A couple times, like I've slept walk and not remembered that I did it. Because there's one time my mom was like, you came into the room and asked me, where's the batteries? And I just told you. And you were like, okay. And then I literally like touched her chest and acted like I was getting the batteries out. And then I'd say thank you. And I'd go back to my room.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
I would have been like, she crazy.
So yeah, like there's times so like
funny.
where I think it stopped when I was like in my teenage years. But yeah, if I had like a good time somewhere, I would have an interactive dream when I got home.
I was never good with my dreams. Mom would just tell me that I would wake up really suddenly, but she's like, I think it's because you just had an alarm on every like day. So then when you'd wake up, she's like, you would wake up like, I don't know. She's like you were just like, ah. And she'd be like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I was just like, it's time to get up. And she's like, why are you waking up like that? She's like, you're going to make it. And I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think I got from my cousin once that I used to talk in my sleep, but I think it was the day before a test. So I was like, I think it's because I was studying a lot. But I don't know if I continued that habit, so I'm going to have to.
I think I've talked a little bit. My husband sometimes has.
Oh, really?
Oh, I think I almost punched him in the face one time. So there has been times when I've done that. There's also times when I've called my mom and be like, I wanted to yell at you because I had a dream.
What you did.
Yes, and my dream. None of those things have ever come true. I've had deja vu moments.
Ooh, I have had deja vu moments too. Those are creepy. Those creep me out.
Oh yeah, where I'm like,
did I miss something? I'm always like, did I miss this?
I'm like, you've already said that verbatim. This has already happened verbatim. Like everything.
And I know I'm not crazy.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's feeling.
So then I'm like, I'm psychic, like Raven.
Yeah. And we both do the little
vision look
with her hand.
We all know. We're back. It's so good.
But yeah, so sometimes my dreams have been intense, but I will say my intense dreams are when I wake up and I feel that I've gotten the best sleep. The ones where I'm fighting to dream.
Yeah.
Like I don't relax for some reason, but when it just happens naturally, because there's times when Blake's like, just dream of something. Because they say you make your dreams.
Right. So I've tried that a few times. It doesn't work for me.
It doesn't work for me either. Counting sheep, doing that. I start to think of other lists.
Yeah.
I've also had people be like, write out your list. I've written out lists.
Or I just be like, Keanu Reeves. And nothing.
Yeah. So like.
Still have a chance.
Keanu Reeves is not my type.
He can handle me like he handles his guns.
But like I've even journaled before I've gone to sleep.
Oh,
because they're like, good. If your brain, I've tried a lot of things. The only thing I haven't tried is like THC and things like that. But it does worry me like health wise. Because I do remember in a health class, like my family suffers from high blood pressure. Now that is like extracurricular drugs that they did when they were younger and not eating healthy. And a lot of us don't have healthy hearts. Like my grandpa's, one of his ventricles is smaller than the other. But high blood pressure runs in his line very strong. And my mom has it too.
Oh, diabetes with me.
And so when I heard that and in my health class, like sleep with not getting a lot of sleep and that could cause high blood pressure, it freaks me out. Just like not working out. And that's why I'd always drive to work out.
That's why you should sleep.
Like that. I know.
Well,
but then I shouldn't have had children. I know.
Right. No, I think just to throw some facts out there, I think 50 to 70 million of adults in the U.S. meet the criteria for sleep deprivation at any point in time. So I think we're all experiencing that problem. I think many of us do.
Like after COVID or during or like late 2000s or something, I feel like more and more. But then again, you think of the people during the Dust Bowl. Those people didn't sleep a lot. Or
maybe they have the anxiety and the depression and the psychosis.
Yes. And I'm like, when did this all start?
Girl, right? I mean, it is like when I'm looking at all these symptoms, it's absolutely terrifying. And I think it's like, how do we even, but I think like some ways to diagnose, I guess aside from just if you're feeling very tired and sore, that's pretty much probably a good marker that you should be sleeping a bit more. But there's obviously more scientific ways. Like I mentioned before, in my college, we were doing what they called electroencephalograms, where we would put like one of these cool little like head things on like a student.
Yeah.
And the lucky student, whoever they got picked, would like pretty much try to go to sleep. And then this little like helmet would just measure their brain waves and pretty much just compare like, oh, where do we see an increase in brain waves and how can that be contributing to sleep problems, which was so fascinating. But yeah, there's various like scientific ways. Like if you really think you're having an issue when it comes to sleeping, that is beyond like you obviously staying up and partying and doing all of that. Like it's definitely important to consult a professional because they can give you, of course, there's medications like you've mentioned, which honestly is not the preferred method. But in terms of like tips and things you could do to address that, like you mentioned, having a routine, right? Like making sure like this is my bedtime and I'm sticking to it. And I need to make sure I get my 7 hours every night, no matter what that looks like, whether it's I sleep now or in an hour, but making sure that you make that a priority. Limiting how much time you spend around electronics or bright lights. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I'm on TikTok before I go to bed or watching videos or whatever. And that's definitely not very helpful when it comes to, especially right before bed. And you've even brought it up, alcohol drinking, right? Or they even say eating a heavy meal close to the bedtime is also not highly recommended just because you're kickstarting your metabolism to start going right before bed. So if you are hungry, like before bedtime, a light snack is usually the way to go. And then something we're all doing as CrossFitters is continuing to stay active. Just getting that natural exhaustion from working out, walking, exercising feels so good when you go to sleep.
It does.
I always feel like that sleep feels 10 times better than just like an average day of not doing physical exercise. But doing that, making sure to, like you mentioned, not rely on sleep medications just because it becomes a thing. Like I personally do take magnesium to go to sleep.
Yeah, I was like, doesn't it, what is that when you get used to it and you have to up your dose?
Yep. I'm not going to lie. I do take magnesium and it does help me. Like it makes me just sleep wonderfully and just straight through, which I think it's hard to do for me because I'm a light sleeper. But again, I try not to take it every day. Maybe on the days where I'm really just like, I had a rough day at work. I'm trying to not like go straight to bed. And that's probably when I would recommend it. But for the most part, like creating a routine around your sleeping time, maybe saying like, it's 30 minutes before my bedtime. I'm going to turn on a meditation, turn off the TV and the lights and everything, put my phone away and go into it. But let's be real, most of us don't really do that.
No, and my husband is a sleeper where he puts the timer. No, he puts the timer on the TV.
Oh,
and
he's one of those.
Yeah, and I'm very I'm okay either way.
Okay.
So like when we go to my mom's, the only TV is in my mom's bedroom. I don't sleep in my mom's bedroom. So I'll just put like noise on because I usually have one kid sleeping with me.
Right.
Or I just go to bed if I don't have the kids with me.
I know we're yawning too.
But like with that, like sometimes with my hyperfixation in the light, I stare at it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to
feel like my eyes get bigger. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. And with him, he just knocks out.
Oh,
does he get the best sleep? No, because on the weeks that he's not home, he does. He's one of those people, and I don't know if you are. I know quite a few who don't like sleeping in hotels. Just like there's some people who don't like going to the bathroom when it's not their home.
Yeah, like when it comes to taking a number two and someone else's home, I do get a little self-conscious.
There's a lot of people who don't go like on vacation.
Oh, I would
like
do it
for
if
a
I
whole
had to.
weekend.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh no, I don't care about that. You bring some spray or something, or you're just it's fine.
Yeah, no.
Everybody has to do it. But he's at bathroom wise, I don't he's fine, but like sleeping wise.
Interesting.
For work or even when we've gone on vacation, sometimes he doesn't sleep the best. He's like, I don't like sleeping.
My mom's one of those people.
Yeah, my mom is too. And I was like, really? See, I like it.
I'm not that bad.
Yeah. I mean, as I've gotten older, I'm like,
I do complain about beds at hotels.
Yeah. Where I'm like, yeah, I like my space because it's mine and I don't hear everybody walking down the halls or something.
Oh, the flushing.
Yeah.
And
But man, I remember as a kid, and it must just be a kid thing because my kids love it too. They love staying at Airbnbs and hotels.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There was like one year that both of them asked to stay at a hotel for their birthday. Like that was what they wanted.
Well, they like the pirate Airbnb, right?
Oh, yeah. They still talk about like when we went on the boat this past Thursday, they both were like, are we going to stay at the pirate house? And I was like, no, we're just going on the boat and then we're coming home. Oh, okay. Yeah. They love that house.
I know. I'm going to have to go next time.
Mm-hmm.
They hype it up to me all the time.
It's a really nice house.
I know.
There's always room for you. My mom and uncle are always like,
I know. Always like, oh, I missed out this last one.
When I see the TikTok, the friend who's now been invited to all family get-togethers.
Without Blake.
Yeah.
They're like, you can come. Blake doesn't need to come.
No,
I'm just like,
she complains too much.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the gist for me in terms of like what's going on. But
I really liked that, how big sleep is. Mm-hmm. And when you hear your coaches or when you ask your coach or other people, how can I be better? I feel this way. And they're like, one of their questions is, how's your nutrition? How's your sleep?
Are you prioritizing sleep? Yeah.
Yeah. And to realize that it is really big, guys, and we got to start taking care of ourselves. Really
neglect that a little bit. Yeah.
But if you feel like this podcast is your swig of pre-workout, please subscribe and follow so you don't miss an episode like this one talking about your sleep. Man, how we need it.
We do. I need it right now.
I know we're both yawning. We got one more episode.
Yeah, we got this though. Sometimes when we're the most tired, we do the best work.
Yeah. Not said no one
ever.
But also,
we might
hit those 5 stars. Leave us a review. You can leave a comment on Spotify. You can also leave a comment on our YouTube as well. If you hit a PR or you have an affiliate that you want us to come and visit and interview, please DM us on Instagram at Savagely Scaled, or you can email us savagelyscaled1@gmail.com. If you have any questions about CrossFit, if you have a story and you want to stay anonymous and be like, is this legit at this gym? Hit us up and we'll do an episode about, am I the bad guy or something like that. I always love reading those or listening to those as well. They're really funny. Or I'm like, oh man, you gotta run.
You do.
But remember, don't be a Karen.
Be a Sharon.
And keep sharing. It helps us so much.
It makes our day.
It really does. And until
we meet
at the whiteboard again. Bye.